you ever felt like the news just keeps getting crazier, from taxes on taxes to skyrocketing housing costs and policies that seem to hurt more than they help? It's hard not to wonder what's going on in Canada. Well, I'm here to break it all down for you with some eye-opening truths about what's happening in Canada right now. Let's get started. We are your trusty source for anything about Canadian politics that seems confusing. Today we will talk about the same key issues that many people are paying attention to all over Canada as well as the rest of the world. These are pressing stories that touch the lives of each and every one of us. Whether you're a small business owner striving to thrive in a competitive landscape or a family working hard to make ends meet in these challenging times. Let's delve into these topics and unpack what they truly mean for our communities and our future. Let's start with something that almost feels like a joke, but unfortunately it's real. The Trudeau government has introduced a tax on the tax rebate. Businesses receiving carbon tax rebates now have to pay taxes on the rebate. It's like getting a refund only to have someone say, "Sorry, you owe us part of that back." Remember this on election day. Get rid of the Liberals, and their pensions should be for 1 week for every year they served. Small businesses were assured that they would receive these rebates to help mitigate the financial burden imposed by the carbon tax. Various organizations, including the Canadian Federation of Independent Businesses, vigorously advocated for this much-needed support to ease the transition and promote sustainability without jeopardizing their operations. However, to their dismay, many businesses are now discovering that these rebates are classified as taxable benefits. This revelation has left them feeling frustrated and misled, the same way they were misled for the CERB. Yes, once again, the little guy got the shaft. As President Dan Kelly pointed out, it's like taxing your income tax refund. His analogy. Challenges many small entrepreneurs face in navigating the complex landscape of taxation and support mechanisms, highlighting a pressuring concern that could further strain the already limited resources. What's worse, even the government can't agree on how this works. The Canada Revenue Agency and the Department of Finance have conflicting interpretations. What's going to happen when they start doing our taxes? Boy, will that be a mess. But guess what? Small businesses are the ones caught in the middle. And let me tell you, if you're running a business, every dollar matters. This just adds unnecessary pressure. Next on the agenda is the looming possibility of a strike involving Canada Post, a situation that has garnered significant attention and concern. The workers have formally issued a 72-hour strike notice, indicating that they would potentially walk off the job at a moment's notice. This development underscores the importance of workers' rights to advocate for improved working conditions, a right that is fundamentally vital in any labor dispute. However, unfortunate reality is the timing of the strike threats could not be more detrimental, with businesses already grappling with various challenges and consumers feeling the strain of ongoing issues. On the onset of the postal strike would only serve to a chaotic environment. The implications of such a disruption could ripple through the economy, affecting countless individuals and organizations that rely on the postal services for their everyday operations and communications. Let's not beat around the bush. Canada Post is facing significant financial challenges, losing money year after year. The reality is declining number of individuals are utilizing their service, making it increasingly difficult to justify the operational demands they have. Should a strike occur, it is taxpayers who will ultimately bear the financial burden and feel the repercussions. The best thing that the government can do is turn it into a private organization, because it seems that private organizations tend to run a profit on every business they run. But the government, everything they do, they lose money on. This particular unconcern, given that many Canadians are already grappling with economic hardships in the light of these circumstances. This proposed action seems to represent a step into the wrong direction for the country as a whole. Now let's take a step back to examine a more substantial and intricate issue impacting our economy. trade dynamics. Doug Ford has been notably outspoken regarding what he characterized as an unfair trade practices, specifically linked to Mexico. His assertion stems from the concerns that a significant number of goods manufactured in China are being imported into Mexico, disguised under the label of Made in Mexico, and subsequently exported to North America through existing free trade agreements. Ford argues that the loophole not only undermines the integrity of these agreements, but also directly jeopardizes Canadian businesses by creating an uneven playing field. Consequently, he believes this practice is leading to substantial job losses across the nation. As Canadian companies struggle to compete against products that do not adhere to same standards and regulations, the situation raises serious questions about the implications of the trade policies and need for reform to protect local industries and employment opportunities. Ford is actively advocating bilateral trade agreement with the United States aimed at creating a more balanced playing field for both Canadian and American businesses. He brings up a valid point. The workers and industries in Canada are deserving of robust policies that not only safeguards their interests, but also ensures they are not left at the mercy of exploited practices. In this era of global competition, it's essential that our policymakers take decisive action to strengthen protection of the Canadian labor and businesses. It's high time for our leaders to rise to the occasion, putting the Canadian interests front and center in the decision-making processes. And now let's talk about immigration, a topic that's sparkling debates across the country. Did you know Canada hosts over 1 million foreign students last year? That's a staggering number, and it's having a major impact on housing rents. The infrastructure, Mark Miller, the immigration minister, recently described the government's approach as listening exercise. But let me ask you, if they're really listening, why hasn't anything changed? Housing is more expensive than ever, healthcare systems are stretched thin, and our infrastructure simply can't keep up. Here's the reality of the situation. Immigration isn't the core problem we're facing. That what truly hampers our system is the glaring absence of effective planning. We require comprehensive policies appropriately balanced at the influx of newcomers, capacity of our economy and our housing market. It's crucial to create a framework that ensures our infrastructure and resources are equipped to handle growth sustainability, and that's why our housing prices are getting higher. Justin Trudeau and his brother Alexandra are not just politicians, they are also owners of real estate development companies. They play a significant role in overseeing residential projects, which puts them in a position of influencing the housing sector. This raises an important question when housing demand reaches unprecedented levels. Who stands to gain the most from this situation? It certainly prompts a deeper investigation into the intertwining of immigration policies and the real estate interests, and make us ponder the implications for everyday Canadians seeking affordable. It's time for Trudeau to step down and take his brother with him. Corruption, the lack of accountability are running rampant. Secret meetings, whistleblowers exposing the government, mismanagement, and policies that seem to favor a select few, like Justin Trudeau. These are issues Canadians face every day. Take the secret meetings between Liberal NDP and MPs to discuss changes on the Election Act. These changes would have directly benefited 28 MPs with pension eligibility worth $78,000 annually. The whistleblower brought this to light. The whistleblowers are unsung heroes of accountability, but they face enormous risks of speaking out. If we want a government that truly works for us, we need a stronger protections for those who are brave enough to expose the truth. So what's the takeaway? Whether it's taxes that don't make sense, policies that strain our resources, or leaders who lack accountability because they're too busy building houses on their own, it's clear to need change. But change starts with us by staying informed, asking the right questions, and holding our leaders accountable. If you're passionate about these issues as I am, drop a comment. Let's keep the conversation going and subscribe for more insights like these. I'm here to keep you informed and empowered, whether it's navigating understanding how policies affect your everyday life. It's time for a change. Do you